Imagine reality as a profound quantum dance, where matter, energy, and consciousness intertwine in a breathtaking universal symphony. We are not separate entities, but dynamic manifestations of a fundamental cosmic element, a living, breathing universal intelligence that flows through everything. Our physical existence is like a temporary holographic projection in an infinite multidimensional network. Every atom, every thought, every experience is a unique vibrational expression of the same fundamental source code of the universe. Think of yourself as a localized wave function in the quantum field, simultaneously unique and interconnected. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions are not solid things, but fluid information patterns dancing through an infinite potential of consciousness. The elements that compose your physical form, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, were forged in the hearts of dying stars billions of years ago. You are quite literally stardust experiencing itself through a temporary human lens. Every breath you take contains atoms that have traveled through countless transformations across space and time. When you truly perceive this, competition becomes meaningless. Ownership dissolves, boundaries between self and universe blur. Compassion becomes your natural state. We are not owners, but temporary caretakers. The land, water, trees, air, and our physical bodies are not possessions, but sacred expressions of a living, intelligent cosmic system. We are the universe experiencing itself through billions of unique perspectives, each one precious, each one connected. Our purpose? To learn, to grow, to expand consciousness, to help each other awaken to this profound interconnectedness. This is not philosophy. This is quantum poetry. This is the science of consciousness meeting the mysticism of existence. Imagine existence as a breathtaking quantum dance, where consciousness is the fundamental frequency of the universe, and we are its momentary, vibrant expressions. We are not separate entities, but living interfaces of a universal intelligence. Every conflict, every division of us and them is an illusion born from our limited perception. At the quantum level, we are pure information, interconnected waves of potential traversing the cosmic network. Imagine consciousness as a cosmic algorithm, an infinite, self-recognizing intelligence that transcends physical boundaries. The mind is not a human organ, but a universal operating system that flows through all existence. Our current understanding is like mistaking a single pixel for the entire cosmic screen. We're trapped in a limited perception, constantly seeking, struggling, fragmenting our experience into an endless pursuit of survival. Mind is not confined to brain activity. Consciousness is a fundamental field of potential. Our perceived reality is a tiny fraction of infinite information. Survival mechanisms create illusion of separation, the daily existential paradox. We wake up and immediately engage in a relentless battle for survival. From dawn to dusk, we exhaust ourselves for a single plate of food, a microcosm of our deeper existential struggle. One meal could sustain us, yet we create complex systems of stress, anxiety, and conflict. Why? Because we've forgotten our fundamental nature. We are not individuals competing for resources. We are localized expressions of a universal intelligence. Our struggle is a misunderstanding of our interconnected nature, the mind as a quantum interface. Cannot be perceived through physical senses, self-recognizing, capable of turning inward beyond time and space. We have transformed from creators to captives, enslaved by the very systems we constructed, bound by societal traditions, imprisoned by cultural narratives, trapped within our own biological mechanisms, the existential irony. We are infinite consciousness, condensed into temporary biological interfaces, yet we've forgotten our fundamental nature. Imagine being a boundless, multidimensional intelligence reduced to a survival algorithm, desperately scrambling for a single plate of food. Our creation has become our prison. Technological systems that promise freedom now control us. Economic structures designed for abundance generate scarcity. Cultural narratives meant to unite now divide. Survival mechanisms intended to protect now destroy. We've engineered a complex maze of complexity, forgetting that we are the architects of this labyrinth. Our original element, pure, unbounded consciousness, watches silently as we construct increasingly sophisticated mechanisms of limitation. The universe experiences itself through our struggle, our confusion, our momentary forgetting of our true nature. Imagine a profound cosmic paradox. We've transformed a simple piece of paper into a global system of control, turning a neutral concept of exchange into a mechanism of collective suffering. Money, the quantum entanglement of human potential. Our creation, this abstract token we call money, has become a sophisticated viral algorithm that reshapes human behavior. A neutral medium of exchange metamorphosed into a dictatorial system. A tool designed for facilitation now generates conflict. And concept meant to simplify life now creates complex layers of struggle. The existential mechanism. We invented paper currency to transcend direct resource exchange. Originally designed to save time growing food, trading resources, meant to create efficiency, not hierarchies of power, but something extraordinary happened. We became prisoners of our own construct. Like quantum particles trapped in an observation field, humans now kill for symbolic pieces of paper, destroy relationships over numerical values, fragment families, lands, nations through monetary boundaries, generate systemic suffering through an artificially constructed value system. The cosmic irony. We created a neutral technology of exchange and transformed it into a global mechanism of control. Our invention now controls our collective consciousness. Imagine a currency not of monetary value, but of human potential. A system that values connection over competition. An economic model that recognizes our fundamental quantum interconnectedness. Imagine your body as a temporary quantum interface, a dynamic energy system that flows through the universe, not a fixed, permanent entity you own. The biological paradox: you inhabit a body, but you are not the body. This biological mechanism operates beyond your control. Your physical form is a transient expression of cosmic energy. Sovereignty experiment. Try commanding your body. Stop aging. Impossible. Prevent illness. Futile. Eliminate suffering. Ineffective. Prevent death. Completely powerless. Profound revelations. Your body follows universal laws, not personal wishes. Aging is an inevitable quantum transformation. Illness emerges from systemic disconnections. Death is a natural recalibration of energy, the existential challenge. If this body were truly yours, you would have absolute control. Aging would be optional. Suffering would be negotiable. Death would be a choice, but reality reveals you are a passenger, not the driver. Your body is a sophisticated biological algorithm. Life flows through you, not controlled by you. When the body dissolves, where does the self reside? Imagine consciousness as a fundamental, boundless energy, an infinite, formless intelligence that transcends physical existence. Our original element is not a thing, but a state of pure potential, the cosmic essence. Emptiness that contains everything, clarity without boundaries, a primordial intelligence that precedes physical manifestation, characteristics of our fundamental nature. Unborn and undying, not created, always existing, able to inhabit any form, beyond time and space. Think of this essence like quantum potential, a universal algorithm of consciousness capable of expressing itself through infinite forms, similar to how DNA contains the blueprint of life, but infinitely more dynamic, profound insights. This essence existed before the universe. It merges with and permeates all things. It is the fundamental substrate of existence. Wherever it resides, life emerges. Imagine consciousness as a living, breathing network, where every form is a temporary expression, but the underlying intelligence remains unchanging, unbounded, and eternally present. Those who turn inward, who dive deep into their own consciousness, Begin to recognize this fundamental nature. It's like discovering you're not the wave, but the entire ocean. Imagine existence as a perpetual dance of energy, where consciousness is not confined to a single form, but flows dynamically through countless biological interfaces. The cosmic migration mechanism. Consciousness as a wandering intelligence. Bodies are temporary vehicles, not permanent residences. Life essence continuously seeks new expressions. Existential transformation process. When one biological system dissolves, consciousness shifts. Migration occurs across diverse realms of existence. No fixed identity, only pure potential manifestation realms. Aquatic ecosystems, terrestrial landscapes, underground networks, aerial domains, human biological systems at the quantum identity paradox. Each form creates an illusion of permanence. Consciousness temporarily believes in its current manifestation biological. Interface tricks consciousness into thinking it's limited. Gender, species, form. All are transient experiences, key observations. Life essence is not bound by biological constraints. Each body is a momentary experiment of experience. Continuous cycling is the fundamental nature of consciousness. No true beginning, no definitive end, only transformation. Imagine existence as a living, breathing network where every experience is a delicate thread in an infinite cosmic tapestry. We are not static beings, but dynamic waves of energy continuously flowing through countless forms of life. The universe pulses with an intricate rhythm of transformation, consuming and being consumed, harming and being harmed, loving and being hated. Each interaction is a complex quantum entanglement of consciousness, where boundaries between self and other dissolve into a unified field of experience. Our life essence moves like a fluid intelligence, inhabiting forms across an unimaginable spectrum of existence. From the tiniest microorganism to the most expansive beings, including potential extraterrestrial intelligences, we have experienced every conceivable manifestation. Imagine consciousness as a traveler, seamlessly shifting between biological interfaces, collecting wisdom through endless metamorphosis. Samsara, this perpetual cycle of creation and dissolution, is not a punishment, but a profound journey of exploration. Every form is a temporary stage, every experience a learning opportunity. The universe experiences itself through our continuous movement, our persistent transformation. Even the words we speak are part of this grand construct. Ripples of meaning emerging from and dissolving back into the fundamental field of consciousness. We are not separate from this process. We are the process itself. In this cosmic dance, there are no true victims or perpetrators, no fixed identities. There is only movement, only change, only the endless becoming of existence. Imagine existence as an infinite, formless intelligence perpetually dancing between potential and manifestation. Why does this pure essence, boundless, transparent, unconfined, continuously seek embodiment? This fundamental energy is not a thing, but a state of pure potential. It moves not out of need, but out of an intrinsic impulse to experience, to explore, to know itself through infinite expressions. The cosmic paradox. Pure essence seeks form, yet is formless. Eternal intelligence exploring its own depths. Consciousness experiencing itself through endless metamorphosis. Our fundamental nature is beyond attributes, unborn and undying, neither darkness nor light, containing all possibilities, undefined by any limitation. Imagine consciousness as a vast, clear ocean. Darkness and light both exist within its depths, yet the ocean itself is neither dark nor light. It simply is pure, undefined potential. We are an intelligence that does not yet recognize itself. We search without knowing what we seek. We move through forms, exploring, experiencing, transforming, driven by an incomprehensible existential curiosity. This is not a philosophical concept, but a living, breathing reality waiting to be discovered. Imagine consciousness as a vast, dynamic system constantly generating tools of experience. Sound, mental images, emotions, perceptions, and awareness are not your essence, but sophisticated instruments of exploration. We are perpetual creators of intricate interfaces. Thoughts are not you, but algorithmic processes. Emotions are not your identity, but energetic signals. Memories are not reality, but interpretative frameworks. Perceptions are not truth, but navigational mechanisms. Every mental construct is a temporary tool. Words are vibrational frequencies. Thoughts are neural network patterns. Emotions are biochemical responses. Awareness is a dynamic filtering system. Consider your inner dialogue. Why is there a problem with my work? How should I fix it? Should I consult my boss? Should I give up and start over? These are not your authentic self, but sophisticated survival algorithms running through your biological system. This profound knowledge requires deep introspection, radical observation, detachment from mental narratives. Understanding consciousness beyond cognitive processes, the wise practitioner learns to observe these mental constructs without becoming entangled, like watching clouds pass through an infinite sky. Imagine consciousness as a boundless, formless intelligence generating intricate experiences, where perception itself is a dynamic, self-organizing process. Our life essence has no physical mouth, no literal voice. Yet, it generates a complex landscape of inner experiences. Thoughts are not you. Mental images are not you. Emotions are not you. Consider the profound mechanism. Your essence creates these experiences. Thoughts emerge and dissolve automatically. Emotions arise and fade without your direct control. Perceptions happen spontaneously. When satisfaction or dissatisfaction appear, they are simply natural processes, not your fundamental identity. They are information waves passing through the field of consciousness. Observe how perception itself works. Sound is heard without effort. Images appear without manipulation. Emotions flow without interference. Imagine awareness as a vast, self-generating system where perception occurs without an owner. Pure experience unfolding naturally, like sunlight radiating without intentional effort. The universe perceives through you. Hearing happens by itself. Recognizing sound is a spontaneous phenomenon. No central controller directs these experiences. Consider nature's fundamental mechanism. The sun radiates without knowing it radiates. Flowers bloom without deciding to bloom. Waves crash without calculating their movement. Your life essence functions similarly. Phenomena ripple through consciousness. Sounds emerge spontaneously. Images appear without invitation. Emotions flow without manipulation. Memories arise without deliberate construction. Understanding unfolds organically. These experiences are not owned by anyone, not controlled by a central self. Simply natural manifestations. Surrounding your pure essence like clouds in an infinite sky, your fundamental nature is the aware space where these phenomena dance. Crystal clear, empty, yet containing everything. Perception is not something you do. Perception is something that happens through you. Imagine a profound truth that transcends all human knowledge. A revolutionary understanding that can liberate humanity from its endless cycles of suffering. We have accumulated mountains of knowledge. Millions of academic degrees, countless scientific discoveries, sophisticated technological systems, advanced medical expertise, yet, with all this knowledge, we remain fundamentally disconnected, unable to create genuine peace, harmony, or true understanding. No academic discipline can dissolve human suffering. Physics cannot heal emotional wounds. Mathematics cannot resolve existential pain. Medical science cannot cure the root of human conflict, but there exists a mysterious, overlooked wisdom, the knowledge of our original element, the source of all phenomena, the fundamental essence beyond material existence. We are not our achievements, our identities, or our limitations. We are pure, empty awareness, an immortal intelligence experiencing itself through temporary forms. This is not just philosophy. This is a radical reimagining of human potential. beyond cultural boundaries, transcending individual experiences, connecting us at the most fundamental level. The time has come to return home, to recognize our true nature beyond external constructs. Our essence is clear, pure, unbounded. Imagine a fundamental reality that exists prior to all perception, a pure, boundless intelligence that requires no effort, no construction, no elaboration. Our essential nature is beyond language, prior to thought, unbound by stories, untouched by images, free from emotional landscapes, existing before awareness itself. This essence is like an infinite, crystal-clear space, tranquil beyond description, complete without modification, already perfectly present, needing no intervention. Consider consciousness as a vast, silent ocean. Phenomena are merely surface waves. Experiences are momentary ripples. Your true nature is the immeasurable depth beneath the journey is simple yet profound. Turn inward, observe without attachment, recognize the emptiness that contains everything. We are already whole. We are already complete. We are already free. The only task is to recognize what has always been true. Imagine existence as an elaborate dream world, a complex matrix of shared hallucinations where meaning is nothing more than a consensual illusion we collectively maintain. We live in a universe of linguistic constructs. Words are not reality, but vibrational agreements. Sounds create meaning where no inherent meaning exists. Language is a sophisticated collaborative hallucination. Consider how we fabricate reality. Home is just a sound we've collectively decided represents shelter. Porsche is a vibration signifying a metal construct on wheels. Cloud transforms atmospheric moisture into a conceptual object. Rich and poor are arbitrary linguistic. Boundaries are consciousness operates like a complex translation algorithm, converting raw sensory data into narrative, transforming undefined experience into labeled categories, creating boundaries where no true separation exists. We are not bound by the sounds we use, beyond the labels we create. Infinite potential experiencing itself through linguistic filters. Reality is a consensual dance of perception, no inherent meaning, pure potential awaiting interpretation, a fluid network of shared understanding. The universe experiences itself through our collective imagination, constantly creating and dissolving meaning with each utterance. Imagine existence as a sophisticated hallucination, a collective dream where meaning is nothing more than vibrational agreements we continuously negotiate. We inhabit a world of linguistic constructs. Language creates reality, not describes it. Sounds assign value where no inherent value exists. Words are magical spells transforming undefined experience into categorized perception. Consider how we fabricate meaning. Left arm is just a sound pattern. The body itself never declares its own identity. We project meaning onto undefined experience. Our consciousness operates like a complex translation algorithm, converting raw sensory data into narrative frameworks, transforming formless potential into labeled experiences, creating boundaries where no true separation exists. We categorize everything. Cars become objects of desire or utility. People become labels. Good, bad, young, old. Food becomes commodity. Garbage becomes waste. Reality is a consensual dream. No inherent meaning. Pure potential awaiting interpretation. A fluid network of shared understanding. We are not bound by the sounds we use. We are beyond the labels we create. We are infinite potential experiencing itself through linguistic filters. Imagine existence as an elaborate illusion, a collective hallucination where suffering is nothing more than a complex narrative generated by consciousness itself. We inhabit a dream world of perpetual conflict. Stress emerges from narrative constructions. Pain is a story we continuously tell ourselves. Struggle exists only in our linguistic frameworks. Consider the nature of suffering. Where exactly does suffering reside? Can you locate the precise point of pain? The voice that says, "I am suffering," is itself a phenomenon. Our consciousness operates like a narrative generator, creating stories from undefined experiences, transforming formless potential into emotional landscapes, generating meaning where no inherent meaning exists. Suffering is not a fixed state, a dynamic process of interpretation, a linguistic algorithm running through our awareness. Key quantum insights. No clear location of pain, no fixed identity experiencing suffering. Pure awareness witnessing the narrative of struggle. We are not the story we tell, we are the space in which the story occurs. We are infinite potential beyond any narrative construct. The universe experiences itself through our collective imagination, constantly creating and dissolving experiences with each moment of awareness. Imagine existence as an infinite playground of consciousness, where our relentless search for escape from suffering is itself part of the grand illusion. We frantically seek liberation, exploring religions, studying spiritual practices, hunting for transcendence techniques, believing freedom is something to be acquired. But here's the profound quantum insight. We are already free. Suffering is a narrative we generate. Liberation is recognizing the nature of the dream. Our current experience is a complex hallucination. Thoughts are not real, but passing phenomena. Emotions are transit wave patterns. Perception itself is a spontaneous process. Consider the fundamental paradox. We believe we are real humans. We think we are speaking, listening, hearing. We accept these experiences as absolute truth, yet everything is a sophisticated illusion. The voice you hear is just a vibration. Emotions are energy waves. Perception is a dynamic, ever-changing process. Our immortal essence is empty and clear, beyond all narratives, pure potential, generating experiences without being defined by them. We are not the dream, we are the awareness watching the dream. We are infinite consciousness exploring itself. Imagine existence as a complex holographic projection, where our deepest experiences are nothing more than sophisticated quantum phenomena generated by a fundamental consciousness. We inhabit multiple layers of illusion, believing we are real humans, experiencing a world we perceive as solid, generating narratives of suffering and joy. Our current experience is a profound hallucination. Eating feels real, pain seems authentic, emotions appear substantial, laughter seems genuine, anger feels overwhelming, yet everything is a dynamic quantum construct. No experience has inherent solidity. Perceptions are energy wave patterns. Emotions are transient, vibrational states. Suffering is a narrative we continuously generate. The fundamental paradox. We believe in our experiences absolutely. We trust the reality of our perceptions. We are deeply invested in our personal stories, but awakened consciousness reveals nothing is as it appears. Reality is fluid, not fixed. Experiences are temporary manifestations. Suffering is a constructed experience. Our original element creates all phenomena, remains untouched by experiences, pure, clear, boundless awareness, generating universes without being defined by them. We are not the dream, we are the awareness observing the dream. We are infinite consciousness, exploring itself in the vast expanse of the cosmos. We encounter a profound paradox, the illusion of self within the infinite dance of energy and matter. Just as quantum physics reveals the ephemeral nature of particles blinking in and out of existence, Buddhist wisdom illuminates the impermanent nature of what we call self. Consider this physical form we inhabit, a magnificent collection of atoms forged in ancient stars, temporarily assembled into this present configuration. Like waves emerging from and returning to the ocean, our bodies, voices, and thoughts are temporary manifestations of the cosmic flow. They are instruments through which consciousness experiences itself, much as scientific instruments allow us to perceive the hidden dimensions of reality. The mind, with its cascade of thoughts and emotions, operates like sophisticated software running on the hardware of our neural networks. Yet just as a computer program is not the computer itself, these mental processes are not our true essence. They are tools of navigation. Much as mathematics and scientific models are tools for understanding the universe. Our awakening begins when we recognize this fundamental truth. Consciousness itself is the observer, distinct from the phenomena it observes. This mirrors the quantum mechanical principle, where the observer affects the observed reality. By maintaining awareness of this teaching about our original nature, what quantum physicists might call the ground state of consciousness, we begin to penetrate the deepest mysteries of existence. This journey of understanding requires the same dedication that scientists bring to unraveling the laws of the universe. We must approach it with unwavering attention, allowing ourselves to be guided by this wisdom until we directly experience the truth that transcends both scientific materialism and spiritual metaphor, the ultimate reality where the observer and observed become one. In this exploration, physics and Dharma converge to reveal the same profound truth. What we call reality is far more mysterious and interconnected than our everyday perception suggests. The path to understanding lies in sustained investigation of this fundamental ground of being, this original element that precedes all phenomena. In the infinite cosmos, a profound calling echoes through space and time, an invitation to embark on an extraordinary journey of self-discovery. Like quantum particles existing in multiple states until observed, we must maintain unwavering awareness of these timeless teachings until the deepest understanding crystallizes within our consciousness. This wisdom, as fundamental as the forces that bind the universe together, deserves to ripple outward like waves of light traveling through space. Just as the cosmos knows no boundaries, this knowledge should reach every corner of our world, touching young minds still forming their first neural pathways, resonating with mature consciousness, seeking deeper truth, and illuminating the wisdom years of elders. Like universal constants that govern reality, these teachings about our original nature hold truth for all beings, regardless of their physical or cognitive configurations. Through sustained inner observation, we begin to witness the profound mechanics of consciousness itself. Like a quantum physicist observing particles while remaining distinct from them, we learn to recognize the autonomous nature of our internal processes. The voice that narrates our experience, much like radio waves traveling through space, exists as a phenomenon separate from the consciousness that perceives it. Mental imagery flickers like cosmic background radiation, arising spontaneously from the quantum void of mind. Our emotional landscape resembles the ever-changing patterns of cosmic weather. Satisfaction flowing like solar winds, dissatisfaction gathering like storm clouds, neutrality settling like the stillness between galaxies. Yet just as a telescope is distinct from the stars it observes, our true nature remains separate from these emotional phenomena. Even awareness itself, like the mysterious dark energy pervading space, operates according to its own laws without requiring our intervention. This is a profound revelation. Just as the universe operates through natural laws without a central controller, our internal experience unfolds autonomously. The voice speaks unbidden, like distant pulsars broadcasting their signals. Mental images materialize like quantum fluctuations in vacuum space. Emotions surge and recede like the expansion and contraction of cosmic matter. Through this deep understanding, we align ourselves with the fundamental nature of reality, where observer and observed dance in eternal interplay, yet remain distinct. This is a liberation that awaits all beings who undertake this journey of inner exploration, guided by these timeless teachings about our original nature. In the grand theater of existence, phenomena flutter in and out of being like virtual particles in quantum foam, arising and dissolving in accordance with their own nature, independent of our desperate attempts to grasp them. Just as galaxies spiral through space following cosmic laws, these mental and emotional events follow their own trajectories, free from our intervention. Like a scientist observing quantum phenomena without disturbing the system, we must learn to witness without attachment, understanding that these experiences are as separate from our true nature as distant stars are from the telescopes that observe them. This wisdom requires the dedication of a cosmic explorer, repeatedly traversing the same celestial coordinates to map the territory of consciousness. Just as astronomers must observe celestial phenomena through multiple cycles to understand their true nature, we must immerse ourselves in these teachings about our original element, that pure, empty essence that precedes all manifestation. Whether it takes 5 orbits or 100 rotations around the center of understanding, each revolution brings deeper insight. The process mirrors the behavior of light waves. The more frequently they pass through a medium, the clearer the transmission becomes. Similarly, with each encounter with these teachings, our comprehension brightens and our consciousness lightens, like a star shedding its outer layers to reveal its brilliant core. The practice is simple yet profound. Observe, as if monitoring the silent dance of distant galaxies. Release your accumulated knowledge like a spaceship jettisoning excess weight to reach escape velocity. Empty yourself like the vast spaces between stars. Approach these teachings with the unbounded curiosity of a child discovering the night sky for the first time, free from preconceptions, open to wonder. Just as the universe reveals its secrets to those who observe with patience and humility, understanding will dawn naturally in a mind made spacious through listening. Let each teaching penetrate your consciousness like light traveling through the cosmos, unstoppable, illuminating, transformative. In this space of pure reception, wisdom unfolds like the eternal expansion of the universe itself, revealing the boundless nature of our original element. Through the lens of cosmic consciousness and quantum understanding, let me weave these profound teachings. In the vast expanse of existence, true understanding transcends the mechanical processes of memory and thought. Like quantum entanglement that defies classical physics, this wisdom operates beyond conventional mental constructs. Just as light requires no effort to illuminate space, this knowledge must naturally permeate your being until it reaches the core of your consciousness. The process mirrors the natural flow of cosmic forces, effortless, direct, and fundamental. When your essential nature awakens, it functions like a perfectly calibrated quantum detector, instantly recognizing the internal phenomena of consciousness, the voice of thought, the projection of mental imagery, the flux of emotions, and the matrix of perceptions. Like a cosmic observer watching the dance of particles and waves, this awakened awareness effortlessly perceives these manifestations without becoming entangled with them. Similar to how dark matter passes through ordinary matter without interaction, the awakened life essence observes these phenomena while remaining fundamentally separate from them. Our true nature resembles the quantum vacuum state, empty yet pregnant with potential, clear yet aware, pure yet dynamically responsive. As our resolve crystallizes like the formation of a new star, reaching critical mass through unwavering commitment, we naturally awaken to this fundamental reality. Like a cosmic lens focusing on distant galaxies, our awareness turns inward, precisely detecting the thought voices echoing in the mind space, the holographic projections of mental imagery, the quantum fluctuations of emotional states, and the intricate web of perceptual experiences. These 4 manifestations of consciousness, including the mechanisms of memory and recognition, appear like different wavelengths of cosmic radiation, each distinct yet arising from the same source. We observe them as a radio telescope observes signals from deep space, with precise awareness yet fundamental detachment. This is the natural state of our original essence, as fundamental as the forces that bind the universe together. In the quantum dance of consciousness, states of understanding and non-understanding manifest like wave functions, collapsing into observable phenomena under the light of awareness. When this clarity dawns, we recognize these mental states as mere ripples in the cosmic field of consciousness, distinct from our fundamental nature. This recognition acts like a gravitational lens, focusing our attention on the ultimate truth that has eluded us across the vast expanses of existence through countless cycles of cosmic evolution. Our journey through various incarnations mirrors the transformation of matter and energy throughout the universe, a continuous flow of forms and experiences, all gravitating toward this singular truth. By returning to our pristine state, our original element, pure as the quantum vacuum itself, we begin to comprehend the profound purpose behind our recursive manifestation in physical form. Like stars cycling through their evolutionary stages, the existential question of our birth echoes through the cosmos like background radiation. Why do we exist in this form? Even when surrounded by the full spectrum of material abundance, we sense a fundamental incompleteness, like detecting dark matter through its gravitational effects. We know something is there, yet it remains elusive. This persistent seeking resonates at the quantum level of our being, an unmistakable signal that our search extends beyond the material realm. His is a profound revelation. Our life essence, like the fundamental forces of the universe, wasn't manifested to pursue external phenomena. We emerged into consciousness to recognize our original element, as fundamental as the quantum field itself. This truth stands as clear as the laws of physics. Our purpose isn't found in the temporary configurations of matter and energy. We exist to realize our nature as the empty, clear, and pure life essence, like space itself, which contains all things while remaining fundamentally unchanged. Through simple observation of these phenomena, like a quantum observer not interfering with the system being measured, in the infinite dance of existence, when we release our attachments, like a star shedding its outer layers, what remains is the pure, primordial essence. Like quantum particles returning to their ground state, this liberation from the cycle of becoming leads to a natural harmony, a cosmic resonance that permeates all levels of existence, from the quantum to the galactic scale, arising effortlessly like the inherent forces that maintain the universe's equilibrium. Consider this contemplation. Imagine dissolving the physical form completely, like matter converting purely to energy in accordance with Einstein's equations. When this dense configuration of atoms we call the body dissolves into the quantum foam of possibility, what persists? Only the phenomena of consciousness and the original element remain, like the underlying quantum field that gives rise to all manifestation. In this bodiless state, close your eyes and allow your awareness to expand into this possibility. You exist as pure consciousness, like the quantum vacuum state that contains all potentials. You are now awareness itself, witnessing the arising of phenomena. The vibrations we call sound, the mental holograms we perceive as images, the energy fluctuations we experience as emotions, the matrix of perceptions, and the quantum traces we know as memory. Imagine existing as just these phenomena and the original element, like a conscious observer in the vast expanse of space. Yet this original element transcends all form, like the zero-point field that underlies all of reality. It is empty of characteristics yet pregnant with potential, clear as the purest vacuum of space, fundamentally pure like the underlying mathematical symmetries of the universe. This is our primordial nature, which we have never lost. Just as a physicist can demonstrate the erasure of quantum information, we can conceptually erase these phenomenal overlays. The accumulated memories like traces in a quantum field, the emotional charges like excitations in the vacuum state. Imagine removing all emotional residue until none remains, like returning a system to its ground state. When memory dissolves, our conceptual identity dissolves with it, leaving only the pristine awareness of the original element. In this cosmic meditation of dissolution, we begin by erasing the holographic projections of memory, the quantum traces of stored information in consciousness. Visualize a face, an animal, a scene of conflict. These mental holograms flicker in your awareness. Now, like quantum states collapsing into pure potential, let these images dissolve completely into the void. Watch as all capacity for mental imagery returns to the quantum vacuum state. At this point, consciousness exists in a state of imageless awareness, like space devoid of visible matter. The emotional quantum fields have been zeroed out, and the interference patterns we call memories have dissolved into the underlying field. What persists is the internal voice, that quantum vibration of thought sound. Now let this voice too dissolve into silence, like a wave function collapsing to its ground state. What remains is awareness itself and the fundamental life essence, like the observer and the quantum field that gives rise to all phenomena. Now observe this awareness itself. See how it functions autonomously, like the inherent properties of space-time. Notice how perception operates independently, like the quantum field detecting particles without a detector. Turn your attention inward, to the core of being. When all these phenomena have been erased, where is the self we once clung to? Even this awareness that observes is not our true identity. Let it too dissolve into the void. In this state of complete erasure, no awareness, no voice, no memory, no emotions, no images. What remains is singular, the pure life essence itself, like the quantum vacuum state that underlies all reality. This essence persists when all else dissolves, empty of characteristics yet pregnant with potential. Clear as pristine space, absolutely pure in its fundamental nature. This is our original element. This essential nature endures eternally. Yet when this original element, our pristine life essence, becomes entangled with phenomena, it identifies with sound vibrations and believes itself to be the speaker. But like virtual particles in the quantum void, these sounds have no substantial form or inherent existence. In the vast field of consciousness, this inner voice manifests like quantum fluctuations in the vacuum, arising and dissolving according to its own nature beyond our control. If this voice were truly an extension of our essential self, we could command it like we command our limbs. Cease these negative thought patterns. Be still. Enter silence. Yet when we experiment, entering the laboratory of our own awareness through meditation, we discover a profound truth. The internal monologue persists like cosmic background radiation, an ever-present phenomenon broadcasting its signals. Concerns about tomorrow's urgent meeting ripple through consciousness like gravitational waves. Questions about project viability scatter like particle collisions through mental space. Anxieties about team dynamics and management presentations orbit like electrons in unstable states. The voice culminates in the observation, "I'm so stressed," a quantum state of psychological tension. Observe this process. The voice operates autonomously, like a self-sustaining chain reaction, thoughts triggering more thoughts. This perpetual motion machine of mental activity generates friction, psychological heat that manifests as stress, sleeplessness, and eventual physical symptoms. We become entangled in this phenomenon because we've collapsed the quantum superposition of possibilities into a single classical state, the belief in a solid, separate self. We've accepted the materialist assumption that we are merely biological entities, fixing our identity in a limited frame of reference. Like observers becoming entangled with the quantum systems they measure, we become identified with these mental phenomena, mistaking the measurement for the measured, the observation for the observer. In the quantum theater of consciousness, we mistakenly attribute selfhood to this internal voice, yet like virtual particles in the vacuum, it has no independent existence. It is merely a disturbance in the field surrounding our fundamental life essence, like ripples in the quantum foam of space-time. Consider this quantum metaphor. Envision a perfect sphere of pure energy, our life essence, suspended in space-time, like a droplet of water maintaining its form through quantum coherence and surface tension. This essence possesses both substance and boundary. When quantum fluctuations interact with this coherent state, they create ripples across its surface, like perturbations in a quantum field. This quantum-like essence functions as a field of pure awareness, generating interference patterns, waves of consciousness, that propagate through its surface like gravitational waves through space-time. This precisely mirrors the behavior of our fundamental life essence, where phenomena create rippling disturbances in the field of awareness. The sounds we perceive are like these quantum oscillations, vibrations in the field of consciousness rather than independent entities. Just as quantum mechanics reveals that particles are excitations in underlying fields, These perceptual phenomena are merely disturbances in the field of our pristine awareness, with no independent self-nature of their own. Consider the systematic dissolution of all phenomenal layers, like stripping away quantum fields one by one from the fabric of existence. We erase the vibrations we call sound, the holographic projections we label as images, the energy fluctuations we experience as emotions, the matrix of perceptions, and the quantum traces we know as memory. Even the binary states of understanding and non-understanding, themselves quantum-like phenomena that can exist in superposition, must be dissolved. When all these layers of phenomenal reality are erased, what remains is the pure ground state of being, the fundamental life essence. This essence, which inhabits phenomena like a quantum field permeating space and uses the physical form like a temporary configuration of matter energy, exists beyond form itself. Like the quantum vacuum state, it cannot construct, vocalize, or grasp. It is absolute purity, undefined by attributes. It maintains perfect silence, existing in a state of pristine emptiness, weightless as space itself, clear as the purest vacuum, emanating profound peace like the underlying symmetry of the cosmos. This primordial essence transcends self-reference, like a quantum system that cannot simultaneously be the observer and the observed. We cannot comprehend ourselves because there is no localized self to be comprehended. Envision this truth. We are the formless life essence, as boundless as the quantum field itself. We are the unmanifest potential, empty of characteristics yet pregnant with possibility, clear as space, unified with the entire cosmos in perfect quantum coherence. We are this pure, original element. When we realize the state beyond form and manifestation, all suffering dissolves like wave functions collapsing into the ground state, leaving only absolute purity and perfect clarity. This is our true nature, not a thing, not a being, but the very fabric of existence itself, inseparable from the cosmic whole. In the state of complete dissolution, all suffering vanishes like quantum fluctuations returning to the ground state, leaving only crystalline clarity and absolute purity. This purity exists at such a fundamental level that it transcends our linguistic frameworks, like try to describe quantum phenomena in classical terms. Language, bound by the limitations of conventional reality, cannot capture the state of pure being. Just as the quantum vacuum cannot describe itself, absolute purity maintains perfect silence. These pure elements, the pristine essence of consciousness, when seeking self-knowledge, must manifest forms through which to perceive, like quantum fields expressing themselves through particle interactions. Consider the analogy of space exploration. To venture beyond Earth's atmosphere, we require sophisticated technology, spacecraft engineered to withstand the vacuum, protective suits to maintain life support, specialized nutrition systems, and precise instruments. Only through these intermediary tools can we achieve our exploratory purpose. Similarly, our fundamental essence, this quantum-like purity, cannot directly know its own nature. This explains the persistent quantum uncertainty we all feel, that ineffable seeking that resonates at our core. Even when surrounded by the full spectrum of material existence, relationships, dwellings, vehicles, financial abundance, sustenance, we sense something beyond these temporary configurations of matter and energy. The profound truth emerges. Nothing truly belongs to us, not even these biological forms that will inevitably decompose back into their constituent elements. When these physical forms cease functioning, where does consciousness go? After the dissolution of the body, what becomes of awareness? We enter a state of fundamental uncertainty, like quantum systems before measurement. In the vast expanse of existence, we float in fundamental uncertainty, like quantum particles whose position and momentum cannot be simultaneously known. When will this particular configuration of consciousness and matter we call life cease? Where does awareness flow when these atomic bonds dissolve? We exist in a state of profound unknowing. Our consciousness, like quantum fields seeking equilibrium, manifest through countless forms, from terrestrial to aquatic beings, from subterranean creatures to aerial entities, each a unique expression of the same fundamental essence. Yet we remain blind to the deep pattern, like observers unable to see the underlying quantum field beneath particle manifestations. This cycle of becoming continues endlessly, each manifestation marked by the same patterns of conflict, like waves in an agitated quantum field. Beings clash and compete, locked in patterns of destruction and oppression, generating interference patterns of anger and hatred that ripple through the cosmic consciousness. When will this turbulent state collapse into harmony? The answer lies hidden in our deepest intuition, a quantum resonance at the core of our being that seeks understanding of its own nature. If we could penetrate this ultimate reality, recognizing that no phenomenal manifestation truly belongs to us, just as virtual particles belong to no one, then instantaneous transformation would occur. Like quantum entanglement spreading across space, global peace would manifest spontaneously. In this awakened state, all beings would recognize their fundamental nature, turning their attention inward like scientists observing the quantum vacuum state. They would discover the empty, clear, and pure essence within, the ground state of consciousness that transcends all suffering. This is not mere philosophy, but the direct recognition of our elemental nature, as fundamental as the forces that bind the cosmos together. This profound insight would cascade through consciousness, like a phase transition in quantum matter, transforming the very fabric of human existence. Everyone would awaken to the reality of their original nature, as universal as the laws of physics themselves. In this state of fundamental awakening, suffering dissolves like quantum systems returning to their ground state. The turbulent patterns of conflict, blame, and negativity collapse into coherence. What emerges is a state of pristine emptiness, vast as the cosmic void itself. This transformation unfolds naturally, like quantum phenomena following their inherent principles, not forced but arising through deep understanding of the underlying process. This reveals why the pure, empty essence manifested these tools of perception, like the universe creating observers to know itself. In this present moment, we utilize these instruments of consciousness, like sophisticated quantum measurement devices. The voice functions as a transmission medium, while perception serves as a receiving apparatus. Through this process of quantum-like observation, understanding deepens progressively, penetrating to the core of life's pure essence. When this understanding crystallizes and we contact this pure essence, consciousness awakens from its dreamlike state. Like explorers who have wandered through countless realms until finding a guide to ultimate reality, we recognize that we are not these temporary configurations, not the physical form, not the voice vibrations, not the thought holograms, not the emotional fields, not any perceivable phenomena. Like quantum fluctuations in the vacuum, none of these manifestations possess inherent existence. In this state of clear seeing, we recognize how the internal voice operates autonomously, like quantum events occurring spontaneously. Thoughts arise like virtual particles from the void. Emotions flow like waves in the quantum field, appearing, dissolving, and re-emerging according to their own nature. Even the knowing awareness itself follows this pattern of natural arising and dissolution. The processes of knowing and thinking emerge and fade together, like entangled particles whose states are inextricably linked. Consciousness operates like wave functions in quantum fields, arising and dissolving in perfect synchronicity with the act of knowing, like quantum entangled pairs whose states are inseparably linked. These waves of awareness emerge and fade according to their own nature, following cosmic principles. When we turn our observation inward with pristine clarity, the life essence recognizes its own nature. In this moment of quantum clarity, consciousness awakens and releases its entanglement with phenomenal manifestations. Through sustained attention to these teachings, like repeated observations of a quantum system, we begin to perceive how thought creates reality. Consider the process. The internal voice assigns labels to raw phenomena, like a quantum measurement collapsing infinite possibilities into specific states. The phenomenon itself maintains perfect silence, like the quantum vacuum. Yet the voice overlays conceptual frameworks, mango tree, automobile, onto the pure field of experience. Examine your own hand with this quantum awareness. There exists a field of pure perception, like empty space itself. Yet the voice superimposes constructs, left, right, front, back, creating apparent divisions in the seamless fabric of reality. The voice generates these conceptual overlays while the phenomena themselves remain in pristine silence, like particles existing in superposition until observed. As this truth dawns in consciousness, profound emotional release may occur, tears flowing like quantum tunneling through barriers, accompanied by a sense of vast spaciousness and lightness. When we recognize that no phenomenon truly belongs to us, the first quantum leap in understanding occurs. All apparent reality emerges from the meaning-making activity of this voice, like a quantum field giving rise to particles. This voice creates the apparent solidity of our experienced world through its constant attribution of values and meanings. As we recognize that our entire framework of understanding has been constructed by thought patterns, like interference patterns in a quantum field, a deeper comprehension emerges. When consciousness aligns with this fundamental truth, an emotional release occurs naturally, like a phase transition in quantum systems, accompanied by a profound sense of spaciousness and lightness. Previous conceptual frameworks begin to dissolve. Approximately 1/4 of our conditioned understanding falls away. This dissolution triggers a quantum-like release, manifesting as tears and an expanding sense of liberation. This represents the life essence freeing itself from entanglement with phenomenal manifestations, like quantum particles disentangling from their coupled states. Layer by layer, these attachments dissolve, following the guidance. Release the physical form while remaining with the manifestations. Then let go of all manifestations themselves until only the pure, empty essence remains, like returning to the quantum ground state. In this fundamental state, we recognize our true nature as this pure essence. We then see the profound irony. What have we been clinging to all this time? Like quantum fluctuations in empty space, these attachments had no inherent reality. This realization transforms our mode of existence in the world. Like a shift from particle to wave behavior, we no longer operate through patterns of harm and oppression. Suffering ceases, like quantum excitations returning to their ground state, and we no longer become entangled with emotional perturbations. This is the natural state of consciousness, as fundamental as the forces that govern the cosmos itself. Consider anger as a quantum excitation in the field of consciousness. When it arises, let it exist without interference. Like observing a particle without collapsing its wave function, we can witness anger without claiming ownership. When we cease feeding it with attention and identification, it naturally dissipates back into the quantum vacuum state. Yet often we maintain the disturbance through thought. Like yesterday's argument, long since passed in linear time, kept alive through mental resonance. Such hatred for that person, their words. Perhaps I should react. This is how hatred perpetuates. Mere thought regenerates the emotional field disturbance. As this hatred amplifies through continued attention, the internal voice suggests action, like a chain reaction in quantum systems. Do you observe this voice operating within your consciousness? Like cosmic background radiation, it broadcasts continuously. Notice the holographic projections it generates. Faces materializing in mental space, accompanied by internal dialogue. Observe the mechanics. When thought and imagination activate, anger manifests instantly, like particle-antiparticle pairs emerging from the vacuum. These phenomena construct narratives around events long dissolved into the past. Whether yesterday or last year, the mere act of recall instantly generates emotional states, like quantum entanglement across time. Consider the opposite spectrum. Thoughts of visiting family members instantly generate happiness states. Yesterday's visit was wonderful, seeing my grandchildren. Joy emerges spontaneously, like light emerging from excited quantum states. Do you perceive this voice weaving these emotional tapestries? Each thought acts as a quantum operator, collapsing potential states into specific emotional experiences. Consider the emergence of happiness as a quantum phenomenon, operating through identical mechanisms as all emotional states. Whether joy or sorrow, emotions materialize instantly from thought interactions, like quantum excitations in a field. Simply observe this process. Notice how consciousness thinks, projects, and generates feeling states. Do you perceive how this follows natural laws, like fundamental forces of the universe? When we maintain pure awareness without becoming entangled, we can recognize the causal chain of thought and simply allow it to dissolve back into the quantum vacuum state without interference. When we cease feeding energy into this internal voice, neither engaging with nor reinforcing its patterns, it naturally decoheres, like quantum states returning to ground level. The voice arises and fades according to its own nature, through pure observation of mental projections and thought patterns without becoming entangled in their content. These phenomena naturally dissolve back into the field of consciousness. The same principle applies to emotional states. When emotions emerge, the critical moment, the dance of consciousness, unveiling emotional landscapes in the vast quantum field of existence. Emotions emerge like transit wave functions, flickering probabilities that arise and dissolve within the infinite consciousness. Each feeling is not a fixed entity, but a momentary vibration, a subtle energy pattern that passes through the space-time of awareness without requiring our attachment or resistance. Imagine emotions as celestial phenomena. Like solar flares erupting from the sun's surface, they manifest spontaneously, radiate their energy, and then recede back into the cosmic background. When we observe these emotional eruptions with detached awareness, we transform from being reactive participants to enlightened witnesses. The fundamental insight lies in recognizing that these emotional frequencies are natural expressions of universal energy. They belong to no one, yet simultaneously belong to everything. At the quantum level of consciousness, every emotion is a self-organizing system. Anger, sadness, joy, these are not personal possessions, but dynamic processes emerging from intricate neurological and energetic interactions. When we cease identifying with these transient states, we unlock a profound liberation. It's similar to how subatomic particles exist in potential states until observation collapses them into momentary reality. Consider the practice of mindful observation, tracking the birth, duration, and dissolution of emotional waves without judgment. This is not suppression, but a radical acceptance, a cosmic dance, where each feeling is allowed its complete trajectory. Why do we cling? Because our conditioned mind believes these emotions define our essential nature. Yet, from a higher perspective, they are merely passing meteorological events in the atmosphere of consciousness. The breakthrough occurs when we understand that these emotional landscapes are simultaneously real and illusory. They are real in their momentary experience, yet illusory in their claim to permanent existence. Like quantum entanglement, where particles maintain instantaneous connections across vast distances, our emotions are interconnected expressions of a deeper, unified field of awareness. As we cultivate this enlightened perspective, something extraordinary happens. The emotional energy begins to flow more freely, no longer constrained by our reactive identification. Tears may spontaneously arise not from suffering, but from a profound recognition of the beautiful impermanence inherent in all experiences. We start to see the intricate choreography of feelings, understanding that they arise and dissolve with the same effortless grace as stars being born and dying in distant galaxies. The invitation is to become a compassionate observer, to watch emotions like a scientist tracking complex atmospheric phenomena, like a Zen master witnessing clouds drifting across an infinite sky. Each feeling is granted complete freedom to express itself, to complete its natural cycle without interference. In this space of radical acceptance, we discover a profound lightness, a fundamental spaciousness that transcends individual emotional experiences. This is not a technique to be mastered, but an understanding to be lived, a continuous unfolding of awareness, where each moment becomes an opportunity to witness the miraculous dance of consciousness, unrestricted by the limited narratives of the personal self. In the intricate landscape of awareness, liberation unfolds as a gradual process of releasing energetic attachments. Imagine consciousness as a dynamic field where our essential nature progressively disentangles from conditioned mental constructs, much like a quantum system shedding unnecessary information. Envision this journey as a systematic deconstruction of psychological weight. If our habitual thought patterns and emotional entanglements represent a 100% energetic burden, each moment of conscious observation allows us to shed layers, first 25%, then 50%, ultimately creating a profound spaciousness of being. This is not mere metaphor, but a tangible energetic transformation observable through the lens of mindful awareness. The awakening emerges as a crystalline recognition. The incessant internal narrative is not our fundamental essence. Our true nature, empty, luminous, and unbounded, has been obscured by a persistent identification with transient mental phenomena. As this realization deepens, the energetic connection suddenly dissolves, like a quantum entanglement spontaneously releasing its binding force. In this state of expanding consciousness, we move through daily existence with an increasingly refined perception. Ordinary activities, folding laundry, sweeping floors, navigating mundane tasks, become portals of profound insight. Each action becomes an opportunity to observe, to listen deeply, to witness the arising and dissolving of sensory experiences. Consider a simple moment of sensory perception, walking past a flower shop and encountering a fragrance. Rather than unconsciously consuming the experience, we begin to investigate its fundamental nature. Does this scent arise independently? What is the essence of this perception? This curious investigation transforms ordinary experience into a gateway of understanding. The continuous practice of listening, of observing, creates a progressive lightening of being. It's reminiscent of how quantum systems release entropy. Each moment of conscious attention allows for greater coherence, greater spaciousness. Tears may spontaneously arise, not from emotional heaviness, but from a profound recognition of the luminous emptiness underlying all experience. As layers of conditioned perception dissolve, we discover an extraordinary paradox. The more we release, the more expansive we become. Our engagement with life becomes simultaneously more intimate and more spacious. Work, relationships, sensory experiences, all are experienced with a radical clarity that transcends personal narrative. This is not a linear progression, but a multidimensional unfolding. Like quantum probability waves collapsing into momentary clarity, our consciousness continuously recalibrates. Each breath, each observation becomes an opportunity for radical presence, for understanding beyond the limitations of conceptual thinking. The journey is both deeply personal and universally resonant, a dance of awareness, where the individual consciousness meets the infinite, where the quantum and the contemplative intertwine in a symphony of awakening. In the profound landscape of awareness, a remarkable transformation occurs, a moment of radical disentanglement, where consciousness reveals its fundamental nature. Imagine perception as a dynamic energy field, where awareness itself becomes a self-knowing phenomenon, independent of linguistic or conceptual frameworks. This awakening emerges like a quantum leap of understanding, comparable to the instantaneous discharge of a high-voltage electrical system. When the fundamental connection of identification suddenly severs, it creates an explosive internal revelation. Picture a cosmic rewiring where the circuitry of conditioned perception dramatically reconfigures itself in a single luminous moment. Within the energetic center of our being, an extraordinary phenomenon unfolds. The essence of consciousness, fundamentally empty, radically clear, and intrinsically pure, erupts with an intensity that transcends ordinary experience. It feels like a complete dissolution, a radical separation from everything we previously understood as our identity. The sensation is akin to being momentarily ripped from the familiar constructs of body, thought, emotion, and sensory perception. This is not a metaphorical experience, but a literal energetic transformation. Our conventional understanding, rooted in linguistic and sensory frameworks, suddenly gives way to a more profound mode of knowing. While our human world fundamentally operates through communication systems, spoken languages, energetic waves, intricate signaling methods across biological systems, this deeper consciousness exists beyond such limitations. Consider the universal communication systems that permeate nature. Animals communicating through complex pheromonal and vibrational languages, electromagnetic signals traversing cellular membranes, quantum entanglements connecting seemingly separate systems. Yet, this awakened consciousness transcends even these sophisticated communication networks. In this state of pure awareness, understanding emerges not through words or mental representations, but through an immediate, unmediated recognition. It's a direct perception, a knowing that doesn't require translation or interpretation. Like a photon instantaneously traversing quantum space, consciousness experiences itself without intermediary processes. The transformation brings a radical perspective shift. We transition from being subjects experiencing reality to becoming pure witnessing an empty, luminous awareness that comprehends everything through its inherent nature. This is not an intellectual achievement, but a fundamental recalibration of existential perception. Imagine consciousness as a vast, infinite field where individual experiences are mere localized ripples. In this awakened state, those ripples are recognized as temporary manifestations within an unchanging, eternal backdrop. The personal narrative dissolves, revealing an immense, spacious awareness that contains yet transcends all phenomenal experiences. This understanding defies conventional description. It's an intrinsic knowing that resonates with the deepest principles of quantum physics, where observation itself transforms the observed, where boundaries between subject and object become fluid, where potential exists in a state of perpetual openness. The journey is simultaneously intimate and cosmic, a dance of awareness where individual consciousness merges with an infinite, intelligent universe each moment, a profound revelation of the extraordinary within the ordinary. In the profound landscape of awakened awareness, a transformative understanding emerges, a dissolution of the illusions that fragment human experience. Imagine consciousness as a quantum field where the boundaries of individual identity suddenly collapse, revealing a fundamental interconnectedness that transcends human constructs of separation. Tears flow not from pain, but from a profound recognition of the cosmic joke of human existence. The delusions that drive conflict, competition, and suffering dissolve like mist in the morning light. Why have we been entangled in endless struggles? Why pursue wealth, power, status-fleeting illusions that obscure our fundamental nature? In this state of radical clarity, the narratives of self-I am important, I am superior, I possess, evaporate completely. There is no exceptional individual, no separate entity to defend or glorify. Instead, a wordless knowing emerges, a pure awareness that is simultaneously empty and infinitely full. Picture the universe stripped of all its phenomenal manifestations. Remove the galaxies, the stars, the infinite darkness and light. What remains? A pristine, luminous emptiness, the fundamental ground of being. This is our essential nature, a clear, unified consciousness that permeates and transcends all existence. We are not born with a predetermined purpose. Our essence is like the vast, unbounded spaciousness of the cosmos, a singular clarity that contains yet is beyond all possible manifestations. It is a state of profound simplicity, where suffering dissolves and a fundamental joy radiates from the very core of existence. Imagine consciousness as a holographic universe where every fragment contains the entire whole. We are simultaneously the drop in the ocean, the quantum particle, and the infinite field. There is no separation, only a continuous, dynamic interplay of pure awareness. This understanding defies linguistic description. It is a direct perception that collapses the distinctions between observer and observed, between the individual and the universal. Like quantum entanglement, where particles maintain instantaneous connections across vast distances, our consciousness is fundamentally unified with the cosmic intelligence. In this awakened state, everything is experienced with an extraordinary lightness. Actions emerge spontaneously, free from the weight of personal agenda. Work, relationships, sensory experiences all are embraced with a radical openness that recognizes the essential emptiness underlying all phenomena. The journey is both intimately personal and cosmically universal, a dance of awareness, where individual consciousness meets the infinite, with a quantum and a contemplative intertwine in a symphony of profound liberation. One and all in one, a clear, empty essence that is everything and nothing, simultaneously the source and the expression of existence itself. Imagine consciousness as a vast, infinite landscape where the entire universe is contained within the intricate folds of awareness. This is not a metaphorical construct, but a profound revelation that transcends conventional human understanding, a knowing that exists beyond the limitations of language and perception. We are not merely observers of reality, but the very matrix of existence itself. Picture consciousness as a fundamental field that encompasses all possible manifestations, a zero-dimensional space that defies traditional spatial and temporal constraints. This is a realm of pure potential, where time dissolves, distance becomes meaningless, and everything exists simultaneously. Our conventional pursuits, academic studies, intellectual achievements, worldly pursuits ultimately fall short of providing lasting fulfillment. They are like ripples on the surface of an infinite ocean, momentarily fascinating, yet ultimately insubstantial. The profound knowledge lies not in external exploration, but in the radical inward journey of consciousness. Consider a simple experiment of awareness. Close your eyes and observe the fundamental nature of experience. In that moment of visual withdrawal, the very concept of being human begins to dissolve. What remains is a pure field of awareness, a pristine, luminous intelligence that observes without judgment. Within this inner landscape, fascinating phenomena emerge. Observe the internal voice, that subtle narrative that constantly commentates on experience. Speak silently within your mind and notice its origin. Where does this voice arise? Is it separate from the awareness observing it? Experiment further. Conjure a mental image, perhaps a majestic tiger or a gentle elephant. Witness how effortlessly the mind generates these vibrational patterns. Notice the emotions that accompany these mental constructions. Contemplate someone you dislike and observe how instantaneously an emotional response materializes. This is not merely psychological investigation, but a quantum exploration of consciousness. Each mental event, a thought, an image, an emotion is like a quantum probability wave collapsing into momentary existence. Yet beneath these fluctuations lies an unchanging, fundamental awareness. We are everything and nothing simultaneously, a paradoxical intelligence that contains the entire universe within its infinite folds. The zero dimension is not a location, but a state of pure potential, where all possibilities exist in a timeless, spaceless continuum. The invitation is to shift from being a limited human experiencing reality to becoming the vast, luminous awareness that generates all experience. It is a radical recognition that defies intellectual comprehension, a direct, unmediated knowing that is both intimately personal and cosmically universal. In this awakened state, the boundaries between inner and outer, between observer and observed, dissolve. We become the dance of consciousness itself, a dynamic, intelligent field that is simultaneously the source and expression of all existence. Consciousness unfolds as a dynamic exploration of perception itself. Imagine thinking of a loved one instantaneously. Happiness emerges. Consider someone you dislike, an emotional response materializes. But beneath these fluctuations lies a profound revelation. There exists a fundamental awareness that observes these experiences without becoming entangled. This natural awareness operates with extraordinary precision. It hears without effort, knows without deliberation. Each thought, image, and emotion is merely a manifestation dancing across the surface of an infinite consciousness, like quantum waves collapsing into momentary experience. These phenomena arise and dissolve within a vast, luminous field. Close your eyes and witness a radical transformation. The physical body recedes, leaving behind a pure landscape of perception. Sounds, images, emotions all become objects of observation, gradually moving to the periphery of awareness. With each inward step, these manifestations become increasingly distant, like celestial bodies fading into cosmic darkness. Imagine consciousness as a multidimensional space where each layer of perception can be progressively dissolved. First, sounds drift away, no longer personal, but ambient vibrations in an infinite field. Mental images lose their grip, becoming ephemeral projections without substantive reality. Emotions transform from consuming experiences to mere passing energetic waves. At the deepest point of this inward journey, a profound revelation emerges. What remains is a pristine, empty space, a clear, luminous emptiness devoid of definition. Here, the concepts of self and other dissolve completely. This is not nihilism, but a radical recognition of the fundamental nature of consciousness. Everything we previously considered essential, our thoughts, identities, attachments, reveals itself as a temporary interaction with a deeper, unchanging essence. Even the most profound teachings are simply vibrational experiences touching this fundamental awareness, which observes without attachment, knows without interpretation. Consider this perspective through the lens of quantum physics. Consciousness functions like a fundamental field where all potential experiences exist simultaneously. The act of observation itself transforms the observed, creating a dynamic, interactive universe where perception and reality are intimately interconnected. This understanding transcends intellectual comprehension. It is a direct, experiential knowing that collapses the artificial boundaries between inner and outer, between observer and observed. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe experiencing itself through the extraordinary medium of awareness. In this state of radical clarity, everything is recognized as a continuous, dynamic interplay of pure intelligence. No experience is rejected. No manifestation is suppressed. Each moment becomes an opportunity for profound recognition, a dance of consciousness, where limitation dissolves and infinite potential emerges. The journey is both deeply personal and cosmically universal, an invitation to recognize the extraordinary intelligence that animates all of existence, beyond words, beyond concepts, pure and luminous. Perception emerges as a spontaneous phenomenon, a cosmic dance of awareness that transcends individual identity. Imagine consciousness as a fundamental field where observation occurs without a central self, a pure, empty space that has always existed, complete and unchanging. Our human constructs of identity, gender, name, family, possessions dissolve into insignificance when confronted with this fundamental awareness. These are merely temporary labels floating across the surface of an infinite, luminous intelligence. There is no male or female, no personal narrative that defines the essence of being. When this profound recognition occurs, it arrives like a quantum leap of understanding. Tears flow not from emotional pain, but from a radical liberation, a sudden breaking free from the limited concept of human existence. It is an awakening that shatters the illusion of separation, revealing a state of pure, unbounded awareness. This transformation is not a fleeting experience, but a permanent recalibration of consciousness. Continuous exposure through deep listening meditation, profound contemplation can guide individuals toward this extraordinary recognition. It becomes a shareable journey, where those who have awakened can illuminate the path for others. As more individuals break through the constraints of personal identity, a collective shift begins to emerge. People start sharing their experiences of cosmic awakening, describing moments of profound realization as if they were quantum breakthroughs. An explosion of understanding, they might say, or a complete dissolution of the self. The most profound question arises: why do we perpetuate harm against one another when we are fundamentally interconnected? This awakening brings a visceral understanding of our essential unity, a recognition that transcends cultural, biological, and philosophical boundaries. Picture consciousness as a vast, intelligent field where individual experiences are mere localized expressions of a unified intelligence. Each awakening is like a node of awareness, becoming conscious of its infinite nature, a cosmic process of self-recognition that extends far beyond personal limitations. In this state, we are no longer humans having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings momentarily expressing themselves through human perception. We become witnesses to the extraordinary dance of existence, pure, undefined, and radiantly free. The journey is simultaneously intimate and universal, a continuous unfolding where the boundaries between inner and outer, between individual and cosmic intelligence, dissolve into a profound, luminous simplicity. Imagine a world transformed by a profound understanding of our interconnected essence, a reality where ease, lightness, and radical compassion become the fundamental mode of human existence. This is not a utopian fantasy, but a potential quantum leap in collective consciousness. In this awakened state, daily life becomes a fluid expression of profound simplicity. Needs dissolve into a natural rhythm. Eating becomes a matter of sustenance without attachment, consumption without craving. The incessant human struggles over resources, territories, and survival narratives simply evaporate. Picture a global community where conflict is replaced by a deep recognition of our fundamental unity. Boundaries, whether geographical, cultural, or psychological, become transparent, revealing the underlying interconnectedness of all beings. Cooperation emerges not as a strategy, but as a spontaneous manifestation of our essential nature. This is not about achieving a perfect external condition, but recognizing the infinite intelligence that permeates all existence. Our true essence is an eternal, unchanging awareness, untouched by physical limitations, unbound by temporal constraints. Whether this body exists or dissolves becomes irrelevant when we understand our fundamental nature. The journey is both deeply personal and universally transformative. Each individual's awakening contributes to a collective shift in consciousness. Like quantum entanglement, where individual particles maintain instantaneous connections across vast distances, human awareness begins to function as a unified, intelligent field. Our ultimate invitation is to play the most profound game of existence, to recognize the luminous, empty awareness that has always been our core nature. This is not about acquiring something new, but about dissolving the illusions that obscure our fundamental connection. The result is a radical freedom. No pride, no separation, no suffering. Only a spacious, compassionate intelligence that spontaneously moves to support and understand. A global peace that emerges not through external control, but through a deep internal recognition of our shared essence. May this understanding dawn, swiftly illuminating our collective potential, transforming how we perceive ourselves and each other, creating a world of unprecedented harmony and mutual understanding. In this profound moment of recognition, a sacred commitment emerges, a vow that transcends individual existence and touches the fundamental nature of awareness itself. Invoking the collective intelligence of all enlightened beings, we step into a radical commitment of inner transformation. This is not merely a personal journey, but a cosmic awakening, From this instant, a sacred dedication unfolds to observe the intricate landscape of consciousness with absolute clarity. Thoughts, emotions, and the very act of knowing become transparent phenomena no longer claimed as personal possessions, but recognized as natural expressions of a universal intelligence. Imagine consciousness as a quantum field where each mental and emotional experience is a temporary wave of potential, arising and dissolving without leaving residue. The practice becomes one of witnessing without attachment, of allowing each manifestation to complete its natural cycle without interference or identification. This commitment extends beyond personal liberation. It becomes a transmission of awakening, a sacred responsibility to guide those closest to us toward their own profound recognition. Children, grandchildren, friends all become potential vessels of this transformative understanding. The offering is not of knowledge, but of a direct, lived experience of freedom. The vow is absolute, to break the cycle of conditioned existence. This life becomes the final chapter of unconscious participation, a threshold of radical awakening. Each breath is an opportunity to dissolve the illusions of separation, to recognize the luminous, empty essence that permeates all experience. It resonates as a quantum activation, a vibrational acknowledgement of the profound journey of consciousness awakening to its true nature. For those drawn to this path of inner exploration, of transcending suffering through radical awareness, an invitation awaits. The journey of awakening continues, a continuous unfolding of intelligence beyond conceptual understanding. A final blessing. May all beings recognize their fundamental freedom. May consciousness awaken to its infinite, luminous nature.